Hey guys, we've got a little bit of an unusual coaching today. Because it was an older game, we couldn't do it to where I could press play and pause at the same time as he can. So we're both watching the replay, and I am just going to tell him when I'm playing and when I'm pausing and what I'm looking at, and he's going to be watching the replay as well on his end. So it's a little bit unusual when we're actually in there, but overall it should still be a pretty good replay. So I'm with PDM, and PDM, what can you tell me about this game?
Well, first thing is that I named the replay like intense Greymane play. So I guess that it was a pretty intense game. I
Okay.
guess we were losing the first half of the game. Most likely, we get stumped, and then we come back.
All right. So intense
So
Greymane play sounds good. And then what rank are you sitting at right now? And what do you remember what rank this was when you were playing this game?
uh, currently, I'm in silver 3.
Okay.
Uh, Normally, I play some games, like 2 games. I get to silver 2, then I lose another game, and I get demoted to silver 3. So that's like the. Uh, and when I played this game, I think I was silver 3 or 4. I
Okay.
don't remember, but one of those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
either way, sounds good. Yeah, man, I feel you. I've had times where I've bounced back and forth ranks that I feel like I shouldn't be in, and it sometimes takes a little bit longer for me to climb up than I'd like to admit. So yeah, I'm just kind of looking at this replay, and I'm gonna see if there's anything that I see that we can work on. So I'm gonna be pressing play here in a second, and then you can press play whenever you'd like. We'll kind of
Okay.
get in. So I'm playing it currently, and let's see what the teams were. We've got Gul'dan, Phoenix, Murden, Gazlo, and Lucio. And then on the other team, we've got Varian, Sylvanas, ETC, Greymane, and Rhaegar. Honestly, both teams are pretty standard.
Cycles remaining 10.
Seems reasonable enough. Do you remember if this was Team League or if this was Hero League or anything like that?
Yeah, this was Hero League.
Hero League, all right.
Mhm.
And you were playing Greymane, so I'm gonna watch your cooldowns. So in the beginning, let's see if either team has any quests that you need to work on. Really, it's just Varians on your end and Gul'dans to worry about on the other person. So naturally, you should just be watching to avoid Gul'dan and get Varian some Qs. But otherwise, I wouldn't stay here too long because you want to get soaked bottom and top. It's already kind of the first thing that I'm seeing right now is Gazlo's top. He's getting soaked, and your team isn't getting
Yeah,
anything.
and no
So
one is bot. So
yeah, sometimes that's something that you just want to call out. If you can't get a kill really quick, I don't recommend staying. And when you have a variant on your team, he doesn't get his strength until level
quest.
4. So so yeah, I would definitely soak earlier than later. I mean, that's something he probably could have called out, that he was going to gank top. I think that I mean, you may have been able to position a little bit better to follow up on that, but I don't think it was really on you. Because you were still clearing that wave when he ganked. So in this situation, you're solo laning. You're doing it pretty well. Just kind of stay back. Against 2 people, yeah, I would just kind of hang out here. They're going to push the wave. Like, do you see how he's pushing that wave right there? I honestly wouldn't even move forward because you're not going to lose any minions. Yeah, honestly, you're doing it perfect. Then do your Q. I wouldn't attack him. I would just clear the wave. You're going to take a lot of unnecessary damage going for him. Even if you do get a kill here, it's really, really risky.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna die there.
Yeah. So what you normally want to do is you want to use your Q, your E, and then your Q again to clear the wave. And don't worry about trying to kill anyone this early. Simply just poke them down with auto attacks and Qs, because you don't have any self-sustain. So even if you did get a
Yeah,
kill there, you wouldn't have had really anything that you could have done. You would have gotten a fountain and just waited and hoped for the best. So it's a little
Yeah, that
risky.
was too aggressive.
Getting this camp right now is fine, just because the objective is top, so there's no downside in getting this now or when the objective spawns. But I will say that early on, it's very difficult for Greymane to get these objectives without just losing
Yeah,
all
I
of his health.
remember that Greymane almost died when trying to do this
Yeah,
camp.
this one, it takes a while for Greymane to be able to do this without losing all of his health. So what I would recommend is, because this is also just going to get killed right as the objective, I wouldn't have recommended getting that camp right as I saw the objective spawning. I would have just stayed with the
Besides
team.
that, I think this was before they bring up the patch when they take 1 second from the swipe from Greymane.
Oh, it could have been. I don't
Yeah,
know. We'll see,
it
because they
was
did that in the
easier
same
then.
patch that they made Varian get his... Oh, I don't know. Because Varian has his ult now. He's got Colossal Smash. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, he has. I don't remember.
I don't know why Lucio is there. So here's a situation that's weird. Like, this is where I would tell Sylvanas to just stay bot, right? You're already gonna lose top objective, and she's gonna waste time if she comes up. I would tell her to stay bot and just turn off the towers and see if she can down things faster, because she's just rotating. You guys need to get back immediately. Make sure that you've got your W going, and just auto attack that thing with your W. Okay, you got W going, you're auto attacking. Yeah, this is pretty solid. Sylvanas almost went down, that was close. Alright, so when you're in situations like this, when you're about to kill an objective, you should be looking for something to do. And because you've got something that's pushing bottom, I would recommend on just soaking lanes, get level 7 at the same time, and maybe try to invade, because they have one person top. So this is really how you carry in silver. Like, you have to make calls, and you have to do things that are actually going to get you kills, or do anything, really. So I would highly recommend... I mean, that's pretty solid. But I would highly recommend trying to make some macro plays here. Like, you know where two of them are. There's one bot, there's one mid. I would highly recommend trying to invade a camp. Like, ping it a whole bunch and go, let's take their camp. Because
the shaman camp or the
I would go with the bottom left camp, because it can die very quickly.
yeah, the easy camp.
Yeah, I get the easy camp. That's it.
Yeah, that could be, but
I could explain like micro things that you need to fix. Like, don't take a lot of hits from Gul'dan when you're running away and stuff. But that's all
yeah,
practice.
unnecessary damage.
Yeah, that's all practice. It's gonna help out for like bronze and silver, as well as when you get into gold. It's all about macro play. It's always about being in the right place at the right time, rather than just making the right moves. Like, mechanically, you're getting some kills on Greymane that I wouldn't expect silver players to get, honestly. So I think, like, mechanically you're good, but you will want to work on actually making big plays and make call-outs too. Like, I don't know if you were in voice chat for this, but if you weren't, you should be making a lot more communication.
Okay.
Like, you should be
Yeah,
saying it, like,
usually I don't get in
yeah,
the team voice for these games.
In the future, I
Sometimes
would
you-
recommend getting into voice chat, but for now, I think in like lower ranks, it's fine to just be in the right place. I'm just gonna move the chat over so I'm not reading theirs. I just want to see if you say anything, but if you don't, no worries. So when you're against a Lucio like this, you can be pretty aggressive.
Yeah,
Especially since
usually
he's not doing it correctly. Like, the way that he should be doing is he should be wall riding and poking you while always in healing. But he's not doing that, so you should abuse it. So right here is a great example of... okay, you went with go for the throw. Was there any reason you shouldn't have gone with go for the throw? Let's see. I think that go for the throw is fine for this team comp, actually. Okay, so now
Yeah,
you want to
I
get
did
this
it.
camp. This is the best time to get this camp on the right, because it's right before the objective. Oh yeah, you could definitely kill him. Okay, now you already used his ult. Might as well back out. So you have to get the camp, and you have to clear their camp. So that's where this call is going to go really bad. Like, you can get a kill here, sure. But you want to help Sylv clear that, and you also want to do the other one. Like, Sylv's calling it out right now. Oh, don't need help? What? Get job. And yeah, you should not have been that far. So here's what you really need to do when you get in these situations. There's an objective spawning. The first thing you should be looking at is, what can we do to make it easier for us to get this objective? So Sylvanas said, hey, we could get this camp, as well as the enemies said, hey, we can get this camp, which means that those camps are pushing. That should have been your first thought. Your next thought should be, how do we win this objective? Going out and getting an early kill under their tower is way too risky. So instead, what you want to do is you want to just stay back, or you want to clear like top so that your camp keeps pushing and you get more value out of it.
Okay.
But top's already pushing, so you don't need to worry about top. You just need to, yeah, get some kills. I also think that with Greymane, you're going into wolf form way too fast. I like just doing W and getting auto attacks off after auto attacks until they're really low, and then I use my EQ to finish someone off. So I'd highly recommend practicing just doing quick autos and auto attack while moving. Have you seen? You do it a little bit here and there, but I would practice doing it all the time. Sometimes it's called stutter stepping, sometimes it's called orb walking.
Yeah, I'm trying to practice that.
It really helps because, like, if you can be attacking someone who's running away from you, you can always get autos on them. Here's another situation where going in is pretty risky. You want to make sure that you get the objective DPS down, and you don't want to die from anything. So right there, you should be, yeah, attacking him and use your R. Perfect. All right, now finish this, and right here, after you finish this, your team can take a fort for free because they're all dead. So make sure to activate your W when you're shooting these things. Makes you down it faster. And when you're just fighting an immortal like that, or a Punisher like this, you can go wolf form. You do more damage in wolf form. So while it's safer to be outside of wolf form, you want to be doing it. All right, you want to, yeah, invade their camp first. Because it's free. No, you want to help Sylv with that. Yeah. Ignore Murden. You're not going to get a kill on a Murden. Alright, what did you get for your talents? Let's see. Inner Beast cooldowns. Sometimes people recommend Viciousness. Physical armor. I guess for the Phoenix that's okay. But a lot of people like the other two talents.
Maybe it was better the stealth.
Yeah, a lot of people like the other talents, the stealth for sure.
Yeah. I use the stealth when they have some clicking abilities, like Diablo or Butcher or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's fair. They do have a lot of AoEs that would remove this stealth, like Gul'dan and all that. Alright, but yeah, these are the times definitely you want to be making calls. Like, can you get these kills? Like, it seems like your team's making most of the calls for you, and mechanically you're doing pretty good, but you're just following. And I find that this, when you're mechanically good, you'll sit in any rank, right? Because you'll do decently, but you're always following. So if the enemies have someone who's making calls and you don't, you're naturally going to lose more. So even if you're better than everyone in the MMR, which honestly, you're playing better than most silver players normally do with like your abilities and all that, but what's really worrying me is just the no communication and not really going for any plays. And jumping in is a little risky. You did have a Mosh to follow up on, which is good. But yeah, you got to get out of tower range. Okay, that's solid. And like these are the times you like. It would have been better to get bottom camp than try to fight them there, because one kill is kind of useless. But if you could have like defended bottom camp and gotten that while the objective spawns, you would have pretty much just won the game. Yeah, you were in there. And that's another situation where if you can just stay in human form for longer, you wouldn't have died. And you didn't get a kill either way, so it didn't really, you didn't need to jump in at all.
Yeah, I didn't. That didn't accomplish much.
Yeah. All right, now the camps are up in 40 seconds. The objective's up in 20, so it's just best to go to the objective. You could try to get 20 for your team by going bot and taking the fort, but then you're not going to be there for the team fight, so it's best to just go to your team and hope for the best. And yeah, I would be pinging, but do more than one. Like, people, they need to see flags all around them. You can also alt left click yourself when you're dead, if I remember right, and it'll say like you're dead. I've seen it before. I don't know if it's only when you're casting games that you can do that, but I've seen people mark when they're dead.
Yeah, and it shows the respawn time.
Yeah, so I would do that. You guys are winning this, but make sure to kill the person who's actually killing the objective. When they're running away, oh, you got to jump in there. You got to scare him off so that Rhaegar can self-heal. And this is another thing that gets really frustrating is without much communication, it's hard to show people, hey, we should be fighting them first, killing them, and then doing the objective. Because you've got so many people that are just doing the objective. You can kill that that Murden. You can't kill Phoenix. You gotta let Rhaegar come back, and then you can get healed. I always ping the fountain when I'm going back to the fountain, so that people know, and then it also reminds them because they might have one. You can kill him quick. So what I start recommending is, when you're in those fights, your team stayed on the objective too long. You need to be like pinging targets that you want to attack, or you need to have 5 people commit to the objective. And if you stutter step there, you wouldn't have gotten hit by the rockets. I just clear it. Make sure you can clear this thing fast. And yeah, you took rocket damage again. So you got to get used to stutter stepping for sure. I would say right now what I can see is communicate more, plan out things that you can do when like there's slow times. Like this is a slow time, right? The objective just ended. There's nothing that you can do objective related. So you should be focusing on camps, and you should be focusing on ganking the enemies. If you can get 5 of your team members all near theirs, you could probably kill them at their camp. Because they might split up. And the second that they split up, you win a 5v5. So right now you should be making calls in chat, which I'm not seeing your name yet. As well as the other 2 things that I would recommend for you personally is stay in human form longer and work on stutter stepping. Yeah, and if you stutter step there, you wouldn't have gotten stunned either. So there's a few areas where the stutter stepping would definitely help, but it does take practice so you don't lose out on DPS. This cool Dan going Reign of whatever it's called, Reign of Destruction. It's pretty bold against a bunch of people who have CC. Like ETC could always interrupt it. So he should be dead. One Q1 auto attack, he's dead.
He didn't pick the Horrify.
Yeah, Horrify is a must pick, especially against an ETC. Oh, Murden's dead. Oh no. Oh no. Alright, well you might as well down the fort since you're there. Yeah, go Wolf Form, perfect. I would steal their camp on the top left because 2 of them are dead. It's free. Nope, never go for mid keep early. It's not worth anything. Yep, go for camp. That's the call. And then I would get this camp and I'd go and get the right camp. Say what?
I have noticed that in this league, in Silver, even if the other team is 1 player down, they can still turn it, because I don't know, it happens. In the videos of the pro players and all of that, if they have 1 player down, they can do much, but here they can invade you, kill your whole team, even if it's 4 versus 5.
Nah, it is definitely something that you'll see when you're watching pro play. if one person dies, usually your team immediately, like one person on the enemy team, if they die, usually everyone tries to go for something big. The problem with like lower ranks is people aren't really confident in their abilities, and they just lack the abilities. That towers are a lot scarier than they are, and also the higher rank you get, people attack the right structures first. So they'll down the towers first, and then they'll down the side walls, which allows them to go in and out very quickly. So it's a mix of a lot of reasons why that happens, but still something that you want to call out. Also, like, this ETC's been out of mana forever, so it's like that's another thing that you don't see in pro play, and that's something that you need to watch out for in low ranks. Like, you can't fight when he's low mana, so... And that silence went out a little too early, and you guys fought as the objective was already over, so you're screwed. So the big thing that I would do in that situation is I would V-ping. I would just do the flags all over the place, and I would say, they already got it. Just wait. You know, there's no point. And you should have just continued recalling, because Phoenix might be able to kill you. Oh, he didn't see you.
I think he kills me. Who? That was lucky.
Yeah. Alright, what did you get at level 20? You got Blunderbuss. That's the exact talent I would tell you to get. What did you get at 16? You got Worgen deals % health. They only have one person that you could use that on, but I mean, that's okay.
Yeah,
Would the disable work better?
He didn't pick the avatar. He went the Haymaker.
Yeah, I wouldn't get Alpha Killer. I would have gotten Executioner, because you have a ETC who could be always doing stuff. You have a slow from Rhaegar who's always going to be on it, so I would say Executioner would actually be better.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, Igor Wolf, maybe. That just requires you to be in the fights for a long time, and until you get good at stutter stepping, I wouldn't recommend Igor Wolf. So Executioner, I think, would have been the way to go. But yeah, honestly, early game, I think, like right now, I would try to force to get a keep. Like, you got a kill right here. I would be pinging their keep. Like, you need a keep right now. That's the only thing that you guys need. You got one kill. One person shows bot. I would try to get a keep. So, like, and you could fight here. This is actually a good fight for you guys, but your Varian's not there. And you got a great mosh, so this is actually, like, really, really good. So right here, ping keep like nuts. Like, everything you should be doing right now is spam pinging the keep. Don't care about forts. The forts aren't going to get you catapults. And that's the problem, is people are going to ping the forts. But this is a free keep. Like, I would be pinging the top keep right now. Not mid keep, not bottom keep. I mean, you might be able to get bottom keep. Yeah, like, Rhaegar's pinging for it. He's trying. So you might as well just go with him. Now, that's pretty risky, because you don't have any front line. So, like, you don't have any minions. So, and you're missing 2 people. Like, if Sylvanas would have went with you guys, it would have been a free keep easily. I would still continue up. There's 3 dead still for 20 seconds. Like, might as well. Which it looks like you try, honestly. But you gotta ping. Like, you gotta just spam ping. Like, people don't listen to just movement. They listen to, like, visually seeing what people are doing, and pings and communication and all that. But yeah, I'd back out immediately now. So yeah, a bunch of E-pings. So Rhaegar's making the right calls, but mechanically he's not, like, there. You've got the mechanics, but you're not making any calls. So I highly recommend... mid-keep's useless, and Varian needs to stop pinging mid-keep. He also needs to not use that on Merton, because that's not a kill. So you guys have that for free, but I would be really careful about it. I would just clear that, which is exactly what you're doing, and then I would leave. Let the catapults you guys got not be wasted. Yeah, you got in a really weird position there. I would get out. I would get out. Oh, this is so bad. You guys already got such an advantage down bot, and you got the camp. There's no reason to stay. So in those situations, you just V-ping as much as you can. I would start watching... I would start watching a little bit more pro play. Not necessarily like HGC, but just like high-level streamers, and watch when they go into things and watch when they get out, because there's a lot of situations here where you're going in and you should just be getting out. Now, I would just get top camp because you're already down 2 people, so you could recall, that's fine, but I would make sure that you could get top camp, which is where you go. Perfect. So, I mean, that's the thing, is I personally think you're a lot better than silver. I just think that you need to communicate more. Because you're making a lot of good choices. You're making a lot of really rash choices for sure, but you're making a lot of good choices too. So I really think that you could be a lot higher than silver. You just need to be picking certain things and actually calling them out. All right.
Yeah,
so
I think sometimes I get overconfident that the other players are in the same level than me, so I can take advantage of that.
yeah, and that is something you want to
But
look
still-
for. You definitely want to look for areas where you can be outplaying the enemies, but at the same time, outplaying is sometimes doing nothing. And I know it sounds really dumb, but just doing nothing can sometimes be the best play, and that you being alive for another fight is something that you also need to be ready for. But do you see what that camp did? You did that camp up top, and it made it to where the enemies had to split so they couldn't push. They actually could have won right there. Like, I'm not even joking. They could have won right there. If they would have just ignored top and gone bot. They're split up right now. So Rhaegar made the right call of going in and chasing, but the team didn't really follow, which is fine. Another really strong mosh. It's interrupted, but that's fine. Everin took a little bit too much damage off of that laser. I would just back up right now. I would be V-pinging right now like crazy. Yeah, there's not much you guys can do. The only thing you can do is toss a Q here and there. Now it's a possibility, but you need to back out and not get stunned. Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, I think I'm dead here.
Yeah. Alright, let's see what Rhaegar was saying. We could have had a 5v4, but yeah, I wanted middle. That's another thing too, is like, your team in silver, people, I feel like it's like wrangling sheep a lot of time. Like, people go in really random places, and you need to be pinging to like show them where to go. Because like, that was the same thing. Like, they went to go fight bottom, and Rhaegar like jumped in and wanted to have this great fight, but he didn't even like ping anyone or communicate or anything.
Yeah, and sometimes I don't think that much because I think people don't pay attention to that.
Yeah,
At least in
I
the-
mean, that's the thing, is like, if you're not in voice chat, you have to be using your communication, and in silver and lower ranks, no one joins voice chat, so you definitely need to be constantly saying things in chat and just quick types. Like, I used to type all the time that was just quick things that were like, oh hey, after we do this, we do this. Like right now, they're going for that camp on the right. You guys could fight him there. Like, you're all there, you're all up now. He can knock him away, and there's only 2 of them there. This is really free. You guys need to get there quick. Alright, he's dead. Perfect. Alright, so this is what you should be doing, right? You should be backing off. You should be healing. You should be taking the bottom left camp. Or actually, one's down. You have Greymane, you could win the game. But it's hard to explain that to silver players. Like, you could win the game right now, but you're not going to be able to explain that to silver players. So take the camp for free. One's dead. And you got to be watching that stuff. Like, when one's dead, make these call-outs, you know? Because ETC just left. Like, if you would have been calling out that camp the whole time, you would have gotten that for free. But because there was no call-outs and ETC left, there's nothing you can do. So a lot of people make the call-outs way too late. You need to be predicting what you want to do ahead of time. So, like, when there was nothing available and you got a kill, you should have been, like, pinging that camp like crazy. And, like, they were pinging, but they pinged, like, after ETC was already top. Right as Phoenix died, it should have been, like, 40 pings right on that camp. And chat's like, oh, we killed Phoenix, let's get camp, and then objective. And, like, that's only, what, like, 10, 15 words if you were to type it out. So you still win the objective, which is good. And with Sylvanas, you only need to really win one objective and you can win the game. I mean, it's late with a Sylvanas, but still. So yeah, you should, I would ignore this, honestly. Like, your team's already going. I would ignore this. Yeah, perfect.
No, the shaman.
Oh, where are they going? Are they going to push bot? Oh, they're going to try to win bot. So they're going to split up the enemy team. This is weird. So the reason that I don't normally like this is because the enemies are going to clear this for free, and they're still going to have time to fight you guys at the core. So I don't actually like this. And Sylvana, what is she doing there? She should have been pushing with everyone. This is really
I also
weird.
think it's better to push with the boss, but
Usually, yeah, because you
I
still
was
get
just going with
value.
it.
Like, if you would have pushed with the boss, you would have gotten value either way. And yeah, when you get in this situation, you always want to go wolf form to DPS faster. Oh, that Mosh just ended the game. So, yeah, this was really weird. So normally, this shouldn't have won you the game. There was 3 wrong plays, and the enemies could have still survived this. Like, they could have cleared top, or at least gotten it low when they saw you guys, and they could have all ran bot and not got caught. You know what I mean? They all got caught and got moshed. So just because this works, oh, and then of course we've got some constructive criticism going. Yeah, this was really weird. So for you to rank up, really, I would say your biggest thing is communication first. Make out prediction calls, like if you get a kill, you should be saying like, oh, if we get a kill, get this camp, or if this happens, get this, and make things
try to
ahead of
invade
time.
them.
Do a lot more pinging, do a lot more chatting, and work on stutter stepping. That's going to be a huge thing if you like playing Greymane or any other ranged auto attackers. Start working on stutter stepping.
Okay.
Otherwise, pretty solid. I would stay in, for Greymane specifically, I would stay in human form a lot longer. Like, just auto attack, auto attack, auto attack until they're at like no health, and then you jump in. And you're going to see that you get a lot more value off of Greymane in fights for a lot longer. You'll get like way more damage before you actually get off a Q. Because I don't know if you noticed it too. Like, when you jumped into wolf form, people just started walking away from you. And then like you got like no value on anything.
Yeah, and most of the time they just run away from me.
Yeah, so you're always waiting for your Q, and then you get a Q off, and by the time you get your next Q off, they're usually behind a tower, or you're dead.
Yeah, yes. That's
So
true.
I would recommend staying in wolf form longer, and maybe try out Cursed Bullet. I think it was fine which one you picked for this team comp.
Oh yeah, I pick Cursed Bullet when I get like double tank or Diablo mostly.
Yeah, sometimes it's still good to get into single tank, and my reason why is because if they only have one tank, and you immediately drop them down to half health with your combo, now their only front line is too afraid to stay in the front line. So sometimes it's still strong to pick in a double tank, like picking it in a single tank, because when you pick it in a double tank and you drop someone to half, now they have another tank. So
Yeah,
there's benefits to picking it into both comps, but I would recommend practicing it a little bit more, as it is one of the more scarier ones to carry with. The one that you picked, it's better if your team can get everyone low, but if your team's not getting people low, it's hard to carry with that one because you're constantly trying to wait. You're just holding it. But with Cursed Bullet, like every 40 seconds, you're getting a ton of value off of it. So, and you have a one-shot combo with Cursed Bullet. If you're attacking someone who's low, like like a Li Ming or something, and she's sitting in lane and you walk up to her at a bush, you could Cursed Bullet her, then Q her, and then you could E her and then Q her again, and she's down to like 30% health. Maybe even lower. And if she got what's it called, glass cannon, which gets picked a lot in low ranks, you could pretty much one-shot her every time. Or if you have a level lead, if you're like 2 levels higher than the enemies, that combo one-shots someone. So learning to use that combo really is scary in low ranks.
Okay, I'm gonna try that. I pick the go for the throat more often because in this rank people stays out of position a lot. Like
I could
Lucio.
see that.
Yeah, and sometimes you can kill people like very easily with that. So I try to keep that in mind,
Yeah, I felt like
but
every
yeah,
there was only one time that I saw you use it that you couldn't have gotten a kill with just going wolf form. And that was down at the bottom against a Lucio. You used it to kill him, and he would have been able to get out because of his movement speed. But every other person that
yeah,
you used it on, from what I could tell, you could have killed without it. And then Cursed Bullet would have just gotten a lot more value. But just because it happens that way doesn't always mean that you shouldn't have gotten it. I've had a game where like I'll go an entire game on ETC and never mosh, and we win the game just because I didn't feel like there was a good mosh. You know what I mean? But it was still the right call to
yeah,
get mosh. So I think that yeah, I think you really have three things that you want to work on: communicate a lot more, make plans a lot more, stutter stepping, and staying in human form as long as possible. If you could work on like those 3 to 4 things, you're gonna be solid. Like you'll move up pretty quickly.
yeah. Try to play more safely,
Yeah, definitely. Like when
in
I
range.
yeah when I play assassins, I usually only get about like 3 deaths, 3 to 4 deaths, and you want to make sure that you're getting very few deaths. And just like again, call out stuff a little bit different. The camps, understand when it's worth it to get a camp because like that first camp that you got just wasted time. That's all it did. They were able to clear it together right before the objective, and you lost a lot of time because you lost health. But yeah, overall, I think that's about it. But I thought it was a still pretty solid game. Like that thing that at the end, I was surprised you guys risked that where you went in to end the game because if that mosh didn't go off, I do think you guys would have died and the enemies could have turned around
Yeah,
and
that
won. So it was
ETC
definitely
saved
a
the
risk.
game.
But yeah, it was fun. I'm probably gonna hop out now and then I'm just gonna do a little bit of an ending for this video and kind of go from there. But it's definitely fun. If you want to play some games later, just let me know.
Okay, yeah, I think I'm gonna log out now, but if you have time, some more time, we can play.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, I'll talk to you later.
Okay, thanks a lot, man.
Oh yeah, of course. All right, guys. So this was a silver coaching with PDM. I gave him a few things to work on, and I tried to keep it a little bit smaller. There was definitely other things that could have been changed. There was a few mechanics things that he could have worked on, a lot of macro play, but I like to give people a couple things to work on when they have a lot to work on, just because it's a lot easier for them to focus on 3 things rather than like 40 things. So if you did see other things, you can definitely add it in the comments below. Or if you like this style of coaching, normally I can pause it more and point out certain things. But because we were both in, it was an older replay and it was glitching out, I didn't want to pause it at all. So normally I'll speed up areas, I'll pause areas, and it's a little bit more in depth. But if you like the coaching, I can definitely do more coaching videos. And if you would like to be coached, feel free to throw a comment in the coaching below. I'm likely going to start a Discord channel pretty soon so that people can hop in, they can leave their replays, and everyone can chat, give each other tips, all of that. If not, if you guys are in the Kala channel, I'm in that channel as well. I would recommend not talking about the coaching in the Kala channel because he does his own coaching. So I don't want to be like stepping on anyone's toes. But if you like this coaching, I can definitely do a lot more coaching videos. And yeah. But yeah, if you have any other comments, throw them down below. Let me know.